Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. And it's always fun to get a really positive text just before you go live because then your mind's on something totally different and not car related at all. And then you're like, wow, that sounds really good. And then you have to like come back really quick and like, oh yeah. We're talking about cool car stuff and race cars and engines and that sort of thing. And you have to bring yourself back. So that's always fun. And thank you for sending me that text. I do appreciate that. Um, excuse me. Holy smokes. I grilled some burgers tonight. Amazing. I'm getting a little bit better at that. Not quite Brixie's Bussin' Burgers, but yeah. I got the SPG just right. 165 degrees. They were awesome. So as you can tell, we've got the car up on jack stands. I also pulled the wheels off. I found something interesting with taking the wheels off. Of the 20 lug nuts on this car, 16 were actually more than finger tight. So my test drive, about 20% of them were not even finger tight on there. So yeah, I might just take a zoomer on the next test drive I do for a car and make sure that the lug nuts are all on. That was kind of terrifying. Also, I picked up a bunch of fluids today. So we have we'll do the gross one first. We have our trans fluid. We have our Redline, our Lucas and our Valvoline, and these are going to be a mix. They have different additives in them in the two different ones, and they're both quality products. So we're going to use the additives from this, we're going to use the additives from this, and hopefully keep that transmission in really good shape. We have our oil change setup. We are running the Wix 57356 filter and the Castrol Edge 5W30. And the reason we're running the Wix, and now you can get the regular Wix in this size too, but I love the XP stuff. It's just a little extra protection. This is the tall one. It's this big. The OEM one is about an inch shorter. So this gives you a little bit more filtration, and hopefully there's enough room in there. I'm going to double check. I kept the receipt obviously, but I believe there's enough room in with the 2.5s to run this one, because I think the VQs run a slightly different filter. And we also picked up stuff I've already shown you. Xerox coolant. And in my email to Freedom Factory, I asked them if we're going to run water or if we're going to distilled water or if we're going to run actual coolant. And I have not heard back from them yet. So still waiting on that part. Tonight, we're going to drain out the oil, and the diff fluid is the last thing before we sign off, just because we'll let it drain overnight and make sure we get all of that old stuff, or at least as much of that old stuff out of there as possible. The coolant will be later on. I don't want to really kind of mix all that stuff because the oil goes and gets recycled, and I don't want splashes of coolant in there. The coolant also gets recycled, and I don't want splashes of oil in there. So we'll keep them separate. And the wheels, I didn't look. I grabbed the jack stands, put this up on wheels, did all that. Oh, last night, you guys, we finished up. You remember that stripped out screw for the valve cover? Let me show you. I saved it. So, of course, down here, I don't have all my tools that I do in Ohio, and so I had to improvise. I don't have an easy out, but I did get lucky, and I drilled the center of this guy. This is what's left of the bolt, and you can sort of see that I got the center on there. And you can definitely tell I got the center because the drill bit broke off right as it cleared. That's the tip is actually the drill bit there. So when you don't have an easy out, how the hell do you get this out, especially when it's inside of something? Now, normally, if this is exposed, you can get it with vice grips and you can undo it. But this was actually inside. I'll try and do it like this. It was inside something like that. So how the hell do you get in there to do that? I used a square drive, and this is a S0. This is an S0 square drive. Put it in there, and I had a little extension on there. Gave it a hammer tap to make sure it was seated in the hole that I drilled where the drill bit broke off. And then I went extremely slow, unscrew, and then a little bit forward, a little bit backwards, a little bit forward, a little bit more backwards, touch forward, and just kept going very slow back and forth and pulled it out. So I got really lucky with that. Cleaned up the threads on the inside, wiped everything down where all the gunk and stuff had come out. Inserted the new shoulder bolt, torqued it down. It's ready to go. The insert for the coil pack, I have that over there. It's going to get epoxied in there, and it's going to hold long enough for, at least for the race, maybe for longer. Haven't figured out how long that will last yet, but we're going to keep going on it. So that was last night after I signed off with you guys. Just my OCD kicked in, and I was like, I got to get that damn screw out of there. How do I get it out? And it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't ask my neighbor, hey, you got an easy out? He's way asleep. So he has a 8-year-old, so he goes to sleep early. But I did do some other stuff. The rails on the seat and a lot of the frame got the rust. It's not rust remover because it's like a rust changer. It's actually a chemical reaction, and it changes oxidized metal into a different material. It's called magnetite, and that resists rust and corrosion better than straight steel. So magnetite is also paintable. So that's the good part. So we'll put the driver's seat back in the car because we have those axle shafts that we put in. And we'll do that after we weigh everything. So tonight we're going to weigh all the stuff that we've taken out of the car so far. And we'll keep, I'll write down, I guess I'll write it in the book there. We'll just keep track of how much stuff, but I can tell you right now, just for grins, I weighed the driver's seat. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe how much that thing weighs. And so I'm pretty sure we're under our 53 pounds. So we have a sub 3,000 pound car right now. And that's exciting. So the scale that I'm using is a very simple luggage scale. And it just turns on and zeroes itself out. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it just has a hook, and then you lift from here and you read whatever it says on there. So, and it's actually pretty damn accurate. I'll show you when I pull on it, it reads. So yeah, it works pretty well. And then I don't know why it doesn't go to 0. Oh, it's on hold. There it goes. Okay. So I'm going to bring the seat over for a little better view so you guys can see this. And I'll try and put it on hold. Oh my gosh. This is so heavy. This is incredibly heavy. All right. So, whoops, I turned it off. Okay. He's zeroing out. I don't know how to put him on hold. Let me see if I can do this. So I'm just going in one of the holes on the frame here, still at 0. All right. So the seat, that power seat weighs 65.8182 pounds. Holy crap. 65 pounds for that seat and the frame, which is pretty amazing, actually. You don't think that, the seat weighs that much, but I promise you it does. So let's get this. We're going to save our little controls here. Get the door open. Get our bolts out. I'm going to try not to put my knee in one of these. That would be a good thing, right? Now, the passenger seat is manual, so you'll be able to tell the difference between manual, the weight difference between manual and power. So that's our sun visor stuff. By the way, I did not find sun visors yesterday. So let's tilt this guy up. And the other thing I want to do, and I should probably do it while he's on his back on the ground here, is I want to tighten up all of these bolts. The 4 bolts on each side. And what size were they? Were they 14s? Or were they 12s? Or were they 13s? Let's just grab all and we'll see. For some reason, I think they're 12s. Nope. They are 13s. So, because I have way better access to these bolts now, I'm going to tighten them up. Now, the one thing that I have not done that I will definitely have to do is make sure that the 2 tracks are in the exact same spot on both, so that when the motor turns, both tracks slide at the same time. And they're not coming in at an angle or crab walking or anything like that. And again, that's where square drives come in handy, because you can use a square drive to turn this thing. So we'll get these guys in here, and then we'll get the track itself adjusted where they're even, and then we can put the seat back in. I'm going to make sure that these are nice and snug, because we do not want movement in the seat in any way when we have 100+ other guys trying to take us out. Sorry, other guys trying to get in front of us. It is a first car across the finish thing at the Altima 600, so it's not how many laps you do or how many hours you do. It's first one It's checkered flag. So, of course, these are all hidden. Way back there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up a reference point here with the front of this and this on both sides. And that way I know that these two tracks will be even. I guess I'll be able to get to those back there, but it's going to be a pain in the ass. And technically you can access these when they're in the car, but this is far easier. Far and way easier. Let's see. Please tell me he's not stripped. No, he's getting tighter now. Okay. I'm like, damn, he just keeps going. And this last one, maybe from this side. I can do a lot of this by hand here. And then it gets tough. Yeah. Not a lot of movement here. But we'll have a very secure seat. And we should have power and everything. That's tight. Come back in here. Okay. That's tight too. When one bolt gets tight, the other ones can loosen up, so you got to come back and check them. It's just the nature of assembly. All right, let's take a look at where we're at on these two sides. So I want this rail to be right here on this line. And if I'm not mistaken, they are damn close. That side is down a little bit further. So this side is almost dead on. I'm going to leave this side alone. I'm just going to adjust that side. And hey, who do we got here? Hey, Truss. Some fluids today. I talked about the fluids just a few minutes ago. If you want to, I can go back over them again. Hey, Liz. And these millipedes, man. I know I'm going to step on this guy. He's right here. There you guys go. They're harmless. They don't bite or anything, but you know, you don't see them, and then all of a sudden it's squishy, and then you got a mess to clean up. So they're happier outside in the grass. There's a lot more water for them, and I don't have to clean up their crusty exoskeletons. I know that's gross. Sorry. So we can put our socket and stuff away. Do you guys remember what size square drive the rails were? I don't remember off the top of my head. It's an S1, but for some reason, I think it might be S2. So grab both of these, and I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head. So pull the axle out of this side. And he's slowly moving this guy. I think he's slowly moving this guy. Or not. It's easier just to turn the axle shaft. Until it's not easy to turn the axle shaft. He is pretty darn close now. Whoops. Just came out of there. I think these guys are pretty close. So let's get him back in his home. I just want to look at this once more. He's really close. Yeah, maybe this guy comes. If he goes back a touch, and these are such small movements, because that motor spins really fast. So when you're making these movements, it's hard to see them. I think we're really close right there. Really close. So now we can put the seat back in. You got these two big alignment spikes in the back, which really help. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. Sorry. I thought it was still on camera. This is why I need a camera operator, right? Quarter drive. Do you want to? I'll move you guys so you can see inside the car when I put the seat in, what kind of struggle it is to move a 68-pound seat. Is it 68, 65 something? something like this. And then this shield has to get reformed back here because he is a protector for those axles in the motor. And this guy gets put back here. Okay. The interior looks pretty good when it's all cleaned out. So get this guy kind of out of the way. Actually, we'll just set him here. He's not going to really be in our way. Hopefully. I have to psych myself up for this. Holy crap. All right. There's not a lot of light over here. I apologize. This is kind of the dark corner of the shop. All right, here we go. You ready? I thought it self-corrects. No. These guys, I don't think they do. Honestly, don't think they self-correct. Maybe they could if they're over-torqued, but holy crap, it's so heavy. Brush off all the crap on the back so it doesn't go back in the car. There's not that much crap on the back. All right. Here we go. I know at the factory there's a little tiny 88-pound woman who installs these in 2 seconds, right? There's nowhere to grip on the back. Yeah, you can't grip on the back. Oh, trying not to crush my balls. That didn't work. You can't, there's nowhere to grip back here. You can't grip on this. It's just going to rip it out. All right. Whoops. That's my head. There we go. Now, it is a matter of getting those pins in on both sides. They should be pretty damn close. Oh, this guy. Okay. There we go. There's one. It's my finger. There's two. And of course, I can't see anything. I do most of my stuff in the dark. A little bit of finessing to get these bolts started. And the other thing I did not get was at the junkyard was the covers for these. I will get them next time because those are always nice. Just looks a little more professional. All right, now we need our T50 and we'll grab a light. T50, and he's a 3/8 drive, so we'll do a couple different extensions just in case. Also, if the T drive doesn't work, then yeah, install the harness. Harness, it's already here. I didn't take the seatbelt out. Yeah, I'm not running a race harness in this. I'm not running a roll bar or a roll cage, so I'm using the OEM Seatbelts. I'll grab a light so you guys can see what the hell's going on. Do, do, do. And see if I can find a place to stick it. Hey, that's steel. Does that lights up nothing for you guys? All right. Let me get this far bolt in over here. And this guy started. I actually just need to get him started because then I'll plug the seat in, move it forward, and mount him down. And damn it, if I didn't cut my cuticle last night, wow, that really hurt. There is no metal in here for this to stick to. So literally everything is plastic in here. So hopefully that's an okay view. Let me bring you guys a little bit closer. Slightly different angle. Harness. Oh, for the plugs, harness for the plugs. All of that stuff is together in there. Like if I hit the power button, the car's going to start. We might have to go with our U-joint socket. I think we got this though. And also, once we get these two tight, we can plug in down there. Oh, you meant the wire harness underneath the seat. I gotcha. Yes, it's still here. We're still okay with that. I promise. Yeah, sorry. I'm like, wire harness? What the hell is he talking about? And then, of course, I think you're talking about harness bar and safety restraints. So I'm not thinking about wiring harness. And then with the plugs, by the way, I did, hang on, here we go. We got 12 volts and power right there. And this is the super sketchy one. How does he plug in? How do you plug in, buddy? Do you go that way? No, you only go in one way. I think you go that way. Here we go. No airbag. Come on, baby. Nice. And then this gets clipped back in here. And I can't see it because he goes right there. And now everyone is clipped back in place, except for this guy who's about to slide into place. Maybe. He might have to go on. Yeah, he goes on before. I think. The problem is the tab's already in there. I'm not sure I can get him out. Yeah, I can. I can't. He's really, really stuck in there. So, yeah, that goes. Yeah, he has to come out. I don't know if I can get this little guy out of here. Hang on. There's a mounting tab for that guy, and he's on the seat rail. And he's one of the Christmas tree tabs, and he's very difficult to get out of there. So I'm going to try a little pull trick, see if we can pull him out, just because you can't get your hand behind that panel. So there. Oh, I thought I had him. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Hang on. I know, this is painful. This guy's in there way too well. All right, let me see. Let's see if I can pull this out. Okay, now should have enough length. Barely. Nope. There's not enough length on the wire to get him out of there. And it keeps feeling like I'm going to break this guy. And if I do, it's fine. Just use the hole as a zip tie and get a plug later on. But he's really in there. Damn. Okay. So this is the little tab that I was trying to get out of there. And he goes on the back of this plug and he just slides into place. He slides into place this way. Which way does he go? That way. So he goes into the back of the white plug. And then this guy gets plugged in. And then this guy goes back into his home up here. And he's locked in place. Do this other tab. He's now locked in place. And I can't remember, do we have power when it's... You guys ready? Whoops, is that all the way back? You guys see the seat move forward? Oh. How cool is that? So there is a little bit of grit. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a little bit of grit still in there. We will definitely have to lube those up. It's just the tracks, though. The worm gears themselves actually sound pretty good. Let me come back in a second and tighten that. So we have our seat back in, which is nice. We can drive the car. All right, hang on. Come in here. Need a little extra torque on these. This one. Sorry about the ass shot. Hopefully it looks good. I'm doing a lot of squats. So now we can slide back. It's not too terribly gritty, but he hasn't had any lube in him in ages. That's all the way back. And these guys look, if I'm just gonna go by hand measurement, they're literally almost dead on. So pretty content with that. Nice low center of gravity. Turn on this. We have our seat back in. Yay! That's pretty awesome. Not bad, right? So put all this stuff back. You never know how important a part is on your body until you cut it. And as soon as you cut it, you become hyper aware of how important that cuticle is or that knuckle. And it's especially true with your hands. So this knuckle got ripped open last night by one of the factory uncut tabs in the engine bay. And then today, just did it right there. So let's try this out. Where's our tilt? Our tilt is right here. Power tilt still works. Awesome. All right, so we'll do a little test run here. Oh, definitely sitting higher up, but we're all the way back now. You guys can see it. Oh, isn't that a nice beer gut? I actually don't have a beer gut, but okay. I barely have any gut. Oh, it goes. Okay. Oh my God. It can go to where I can't actually get out. You can actually stick me in here. Hang on. I can go a little bit more. All right. I'm obviously not reaching the pedals. It wants me to hit the clutch so I can hit the start-stop button, but I can't reach the clutch. There it is. All right. So that's all the way forward. All right. So God knows what happened. Oh. He kind of came unplugged. He was only halfway plugged in. Because we have to put this switch back in the trim. So there we go. And down in the back. Okay, when you go down in the back, it also slides you backwards. When you go down in the front, it just slides you down. So you'll have to go forward a little bit. So down and then forward a little bit. And where's my tilt? Which way? Forward a little bit. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. We want to go down a little bit more. Yeah. And forward a little bit. Forward a little bit more. Not quite NASCAR-y, but definitely more forward. For seating position, what you don't want is you don't want your arms totally outstretched. It's really hard to turn things when you're this way. But you don't want it this close because that's the same thing. It's really hard to turn this way. You got to find that middle ground where and like NASCAR guys, you'll see in car, they have it super close. But they're also their car, if you let go of the steering wheel, their car will just go around in a circle because it's made to go left. What they're doing in the straightaways is they're holding it straight and they're holding it as hard as they can straight. And then when they go into the turns, they barely have to use the steering wheel at all. You know, if they have to pass someone or maneuver or whatever. But on the straights, they're doing everything they can. They're just like, come on, come on, come on, keep it straight, keep it straight. Then they kind of let go. So it's a little different. But when you're road course racing, you're doing all of that. You're keeping it a firm grip on the straights. And the trick for seating position, your shoulders should touch the back, and I should be tilted way forward, way more forward. So my shoulders should be touching the back. And when my shoulders are touching the seat, my wrist should break over the steering wheel. And that's a really good start to your seating position. Now, I'm going to probably want this a little bit closer still. And probably going to drop it down a bit too. So yeah, that's a much better position. And I can get to the gearbox quick and easy. So I might go back just a touch. Something like that. That's going to be my seating position for the race. I might go a little bit lower just for helmet reasons, but this actually feels pretty good. And this car does have tilt, so I can actually, it's not much of tilt, but we can tilt the wheel too if we want to come down a little lower. So we're in a good seating position. This guy works great. Very happy with how that came out. Can't believe I found those axles. To me, that's stunning. Just stunning. We're gonna. I don't know. I get it. There's shit just falling out everywhere. Still got to tape all this up. We got to pull all these vents and stuff out, put the new ones in, and I still haven't figured out what to do with all this sticky crap on here. I don't think it's the regular sticky stuff that happens to the vents. I think there was like something stuck on here, like a dash pad or some kind of fabric or something, and this is just regular adhesive. So I might actually try like Goo Gone. Something like that should work pretty well, and just keep wiping that crap off. The other problem is it got sunbaked for however many years. Also, kind of nice to get out of a lifted Altima. It's kind of far from the ground. So we have the seat back in. We can still drive the car now, which is great. Very, very happy with that. Now let's get to some weighing, right? This is what everyone wants to see. And I got to pull the book out here, grab a pen, and it's always nice to get, oh my God. What do we got here? Reynoldsburg Division of Police. It's a funeral procession? Okay, whatever. Not whatever, that's terrible. I don't mean it like that. I'm like, doesn't belong in our group message. I haven't, clicked on the link. I don't think it's any member of our group message, so why would you post it there? And it's not part of friends or family or anything else like that. So that's why I said that. Not, I actually like police officers. I'm fine with them. So she's just manning the machine, the plugs. Okay, phew, okay, yes. Uh, should have kept the seat up, then install the harnesses and bolts in. I kind of did. The problem with having that track all the way forward is then I can't get to the bolts in the front. If I have it all the way back, I can't get to any of the bolts in the back, let alone like start hand threading them. So I had to at least get the two front ones, get those mounted. In the rear, I had the alignment spikes. So I knew it wasn't going to slide or shift. So the rear ones were actually okay. The front ones were really important. So I needed access to the front ones. Halfway past the back seat. Oh, in the back seat. Oh, shit. Seriously? I have to recline it that far? Like recline this seat where if I'm looking at a drive-through, I'm looking out this window. Is that what I have to do? Crap. Damn it. Yeah, if there's something weird with the dash on that, I'll just do like a dash mat or something. Maybe just I guess Joann's Fabrics is gone, but there's like Michaels and stuff like that, or Amazon, whatever. Just get like a fun fabric, like a anime fabric or whatever. Put it on there. Yeah, so if I do the seat all the way back and I have to litter the car with jewels, right? JWL.